Is the camera still on?
It's on, dude. It's all you right now.
And at the end of this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And that'll help the channel. So, and enjoy the video.
We're going to start off with this really delicious dip. It's called Chef John's Hot Sloppy Joe Dip. Check this out. This was such a good recipe. All right, you just want to brown up your ground beef in your pan. And I think for presentation, I think this is great using this cast iron. So I would definitely recommend that, but you certainly wouldn't have to. You could move it into whatever serving dish you wanted. You just want to brown up your ground beef per usual for making sloppy joes. Now this recipe is a little bit different than the one I usually follow, which is Pioneer Woman Sloppy Joes. Or, not gonna lie, we love a good can of Manwich for sloppy joes as well. But I usually have the stuff to make the Pioneer Woman one, and that one is really good. My daughter-in-law got me started on that one, and that one is a really tasty sloppy joe. But this one has a few different ingredients, nothing probably that you already don't have in your kitchen, I'd say, for the most part. So I thought, you know what, this is going to be fun to try something new. James had actually said, you know, I'm in the mood for some sloppy joes. Let's have that. And I showed him this one. I've had this pinned on my Pinterest for years. And he said, yeah, let's go for that one. So that is what got us going here on this recipe this evening. All right, so we've added in some garlic. We added in our onions and our peppers, and then it says to add in some flour. So I've got that added in. We're going to stir that around, get that really incorporated, and then we're going to add in chicken broth as well. So let me tell you about this. If you're looking for, say, hey, I make sloppy joes often, I want to try one different, this is a good one. Or if you want a sloppy joe, you know, taste, you love something like that, but you want it in a different form, this is great because you can have it as a dip. That's what it's intended for. Or sandwiches, which is what we did because that's what we wanted this night. So it's pretty versatile, all that to say. So chicken broth is stirred in. Then we're going to go in with some cayenne pepper. We're going to add in some black pepper, Worcestershire sauce, brown sugar. Be sure and look below. In the description box, I will have a link to the original recipe. I cut mine down. It called for 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm using probably a little over half a pound. I just did not need to make that big a portion. Otherwise, I really wanted to stay pretty close to the recipe. I read the reviews. There were mixed reviews. Some said it was fantastic. Some said they thought it was a little bland. Now, who those people were, I don't know, because this was not bland in any form or fashion. It was very flavorful. So, highly recommend giving this one a try. All right, now coming in with our ketchup and mustard. And I think what's fun about this, like I said, you can serve it as a dip. You could put out little crostinis. You could put out like the corn chip dippers. You could put out little Hawaiian slider buns. Whatever way you wanted to go, or you can make this and serve it on a sandwich, which is, like I said, what we did. Now, this is a really fun part too. It calls for a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and you can just let it melt on top, which is what I did, or you could put it under the broiler. You got to be careful with that though, because then it gets kind of tough sometimes, and if you're going to go to scoop that, you're going to have to really work to cut it. So I'd say if you're going to serve this as a dip, just melt your cheese on top. That way it's not so firm and it's not going to kind of all pull off when you go to dip some out. All right, cheese on top. Like I said, I'm just going to let mine sit here and melt until this cheese is all perfect. I usually eat my sloppy joes with a slice of American. The cheddar on this really was a great addition. I really like that, but you could certainly do like a pepper jack. You could, go a few different ways with this. Give this one a try if you're looking for something different, maybe for a snack night, or you're having somebody over and you want some appetizers. This is a fun one. Not too many people dislike sloppy joes, so you could win with this one for sure. Here's ours. I just served it with some tater tots on the side. I gave this one a big thumbs up. James did too. This is really good. Another night I was feeling chicken tenders. So these are the Tyson Southern style chicken tenders, something like that. I did them in the air fryer, and when they were done, I put the hot honey barbecue sauce by Kinder's and put them back in there so it could kind of caramelize and heat up. They were so good. I just made some homemade shells and cheese on the side and some potato wedges. If you have not tried the potato wedges from Great Value, they are delicious. So good. They taste like deli ones. It was exactly what I was wanting. All right, another yummy and quick dinner we had this week was a Swiss onion bacon burger on everything bagel croissants. This was delicious. I just fried up about half of a small onion, removed that from the skillet, put the bacon back into the same skillet. I use this little splatter guard here, but it sometimes doesn't catch everything, and I noticed in earlier clips I got to get my stove clean and get some of this grease off of there because bacon burgers, messy but delicious. So once the bacon was done, I removed that, added in my burger patties into the bacon fat, and then I'm using this caramelized onion butter seasoning by Kinder to season up these burgers here. I didn't use anything but that and black pepper. Once I got everything all fried up, I'm just building a regular burger, but just, kind of different flavors, I guess. I had 2 of these left and wanted to get these used. These are so great. I buy these at Kroger, and they're messy. They got all the yummy seasoning on there, but they're really, really good for all kinds of things. So I'm just going in here to fix this up how I was feeling it for this night, which was just some mayonnaise and some mustard, and then I just built this delicious burger. Have had another really busy week. There was something going almost every single day this week, so I needed quick and easy things yet again. Life's going to slow down at one of these points, hopefully, but this hit the spot. It was so good. I love a traditional burger, but this one was delicious. We just had some chips on the side. It filled our bellies. It was very tasty. If you want a different burger, give this one a try. We have made it to family night, and tonight is our annual Charlie Brown pumpkin party. It is always such fun. We look forward to it. This night was no exception. Let me show you what a good night we had. From the food to the fun and the festivities, it was all just so much fun. I'm going to show you all the food. I'm going to show you the desserts as well. And I've got some fun footage of us carving pumpkins, so you definitely want to stay tuned for the rest of this video. Going in with a big bag of these frozen home-style meatballs. This is actually a 3-pound bag. The whole thing in. And I'm going in with a jar of this Classico traditional sweet basil sauce. It's a 24-ounce jar. And I'm just going to pour this right all over the top. And I'm just going to kind of move them around a little bit here. This is going to be great. I have started my crock pot off on high, and I'm going to turn that down to low here in just a little bit. And these will take, you can do them about 6 hours on low, maybe 3-ish, 4 hours on high, maybe not even that long. I find these cook quicker than I even think they're going to, or even what the recipe says. So my crock pot might cook a little hot, I don't know, but just keep your eye on them. Or if you think, maybe you're not going to be home in time or whatever, put them on low just to be safe so they don't burn. So this is going to be such an easy meal tonight. I wanted to make this dip, sounded so good. I wanted to make this for tonight. So this is a warm artichoke crab dip. And I thought it sounded so good. So, and it's 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese. There's a cup of mayonnaise. You have some cloves of garlic in there, some Worcestershire sauce, some artichoke hearts, and I normally buy the jar, but this is what Walmart had on this day, so that's what I got. And then I just decided to clip them down a little bit smaller with my kitchen scissors. I've also added in 2 green onions chopped and about 8 ounces of, this is a really great cheese. It's a French onion cheese, I believe is what it's called. It's from the Amish store. Our son Gunnar and Abigail brought us that back from when they had gone recently. It's really, really good. I added that in because I had it, but I think it calls for Monterey Jack. And then it is a cup of Parmesan. Next, you add in your crab component, and so I have added in here about 10-12 ounces, something like that, of the crab, and this is just the imitation crab, and I'm just going to give this a good stir, and I'll just go ahead and, spoiler alert, this was a huge hit. This is the first time I've ever made this, and I think every person in the family came back and said, this is so good, you have to keep making this one. So if you think you may like this as far as the ingredients, give this one a try. We really loved it. All right, once this is all mixed, you want to spray your baking dish, and then it bakes in the oven for just a little bit to get it all heated through. And I served this with some garlic bagel chips, some corn chip dippers. I also put out some club crackers. We had another dip this night as well, and so I just put that out to go with both of them. Like I said, this one was delicious. It did not say to top it with any kind of cheese. I'm sure you could. I just put a little sprinkle of parsley over the top like I usually do to give it a little bit of color, but this one was very quick, very easy, and delicious. All right, for the little meatball subs, that's what I'm making. I used the top split brioche buns. I put 4 meatballs with the sauce in there after they were cooked. Put some cheese on the top, a little sprinkling of Italian seasoning, and bake those in the oven for about 10 minutes or so just to get the cheese melted on top. And I loved this. They held together so well. No meatballs falling out, which sometimes they do. This was so good. The other dip back there was a jalapeno pepper jelly dip. And I made another batch of homemade shells and cheese. I know all the littles and the bigs, not gonna lie, they all love that. The longest part about making these meatball subs was just filling the bun with the meatballs. It was such a quick thing to pull together, and it was just really, really good. Here is our little dessert station. Oh my goodness, this was all great too. I'm going to show you real quick the recipes for these delicious treats that we had this night. You don't want to miss these. These are great. In my opinion, this is a knock your socks off dessert recipe. You need Rice Krispies, peanut butter, mini marshmallows, 2 bags of white chocolate chips, and you need some little mini chocolate chips, or you can use regular as your topping. This is so easy, but it is beyond delicious. In my bowl here, I've just placed all the chocolate chips, heated those in my microwave on 30-second increments until they are all melted smooth, and then you just stir in your peanut butter. I think it's about a 1/2 cup. Again, as always, look below in the description box for the full recipe. Just these 2 ingredients alone are amazingly delicious. But once you get the peanut butter and the white chocolate incorporated well, you're going to add in 3 cups of Rice Krispies. And you just stir this until it is incorporated well, and then you're going to let this cool for about 8 to 10 minutes. You do not want it to melt your marshmallows that you'll put in next. So it doesn't harden up It doesn't do anything, it just cools. So just let that sit there and cool. In the meantime, you can get your pan prepared by spraying it with some non-cook spray. All right, in go the mini marshmallows. You're just going to stir this around until it gets incorporated very well, and then you're going to put that in your pan. I think it calls for 9 by 13. I wanted mine a little bit thicker, so I put it in like an 8.5 by 11 or something along those lines. Any which way would work, I think. And then get these in your pan. And once they are, you're just going to top them with the little mini chocolate chips. You want to cover this and put this in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so until it's set, and then you're good to go. You can slice these babies up or, cut them in little squares and start eating. That's about how quick and easy this comes together. I have made these before, but it's been a long time. They always get rave reviews. Try these if you haven't. You will thank me for it. If you like a Snickerdoodle cookie and you like caramel, and you think putting those two together would be fabulous, you're right. It is fabulous. That's what this cookie is. It is a caramel-filled Snickerdoodle. I've been using the same Snickerdoodle recipe since I was in high school, and I used to even have people that love these so much pay me to make them Snickerdoodles for parties and work events and things like that. This is a tried and true. So when I had this recipe for a caramel-filled Snickerdoodle, I just stayed with my original recipe for the cookie, and then I modified it a bit. It called for a caramel that you unwrap, the craft caramel, and then you would melt it. Well, I decided to take a shortcut route and just buy the caramel to dip your apples in, and I'll show you that in a second. That's what I went for. It worked perfectly. I've made probably 2 or 3 batches of these now. They work great every time. This is a great one. So I'm mixing a tried and true recipe and just put a little caramel on the inside to come up with a whole new thing, and it works and it's delicious. Here they are out of the oven. Look how good these look. They taste even better. And of course, if you want just the Snickerdoodle, use just the Snickerdoodle portion of this recipe. Look down below for the full recipe, of course. And remember, a few weeks back, I showed you this big basket full of desserts. Well, I already showed you the cornflake candy. Now I showed you the Snickerdoodles stuffed with caramel. And I am making my way through showing you all the treats in this basket. Alright, and so back to family night. The last thing I'm going to show you here, I used this box of brownie mix from Aldi. If you haven't tried this double chocolate supreme brownie mix, premium rather, oh my word, it is so good. It's got little chocolate chips throughout. Very good. Came from Aldi. I just made it according to the box directions, baked it up, and then I put little M&Ms for the eyes, the little mini M&Ms, and then I took an Oreo cookie and broke it in half and then kind of put that in for the ears, and it's like little bat brownies. So I thought those were kind of cute. I saw that on Pinterest, I believe. Mainly I just wanted to show this to you for in case you needed a little very easy treat that's fun. This one is definitely that, but mainly because the box brownies were so delicious. So if you haven't purchased those from Aldi, definitely give those a try. So every fall we do 2 things for sure. We have our big Reformation Day celebration fall party that we do with our church, and then we have a little great pumpkin party with our family. I'm a big Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Peanuts fan, and we love watching Great Pumpkin. I love watching all the little Peanuts gang movies, the Christmas one, they're all so fun. So we basically turn the Great Pumpkin on in the background. We have something yummy, and it's usually some fun treats to go along with it. And then we carve pumpkins, and we just enjoy it with the kids, and we pretend like we're a kid again. I smell that pumpkin. It takes me back to my childhood when I carved pumpkins, and it's just always so much fun. So I thought I would include a little bit of footage here. I've got several of you that I've asked, like, why don't you show more of your family? And so here we go. I'm going to show you some of our annual fun Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin Night.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
it? What is it, Courage?
A bonsai.
Oh,
Dad,
oh,
it
it escaped. Awesome.
Go back with Mom and Dad.
Oh, okay. Good idea. Good idea.
I did it. I did it.
Fisher. That's outrageous. Look at this.
Oh my
Look at
goodness,
those
buddy.
teeth.
That's spooky.
Wow. And how strong are you carrying that pumpkin around? Woo! It's supposed to be an owl. It doesn't really look like it, but Courage, what does an owl say? Woohoo! Almost ready.
It's the second eyeball. It's the second eyeball.
Gross. Disgusting. It is so cute. That's really cute.